YouTube, welcome to the Top 8 Meta Weekly Grand Finale and Top Deck List, where we're going to start this off with Toxic versus Toxic. You're going to be in a tough conundrum here as you do not know who to root for. Nemesis Flag, search for Protos to completely turn off your opponent from special summoning a single attribute, or you have a wham bam, thank you ma'am, mostly non-interactive one-turn kill play with the Tempai. Tempai is going to be turning off the battle phase and mostly turning off the main phase if you have the field spell. Which deck will be more toxic than the other? Are you ready? Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
And by watching as long as you can, that greatly supports these videos, even if you have us on in the background. Let's hop in. Tempai wants to go second, and Tempai is filled to the brim with one-card combos. Now, Kawaki needs to know to declare fire with his Protos. Imperm stops Banshee from either searching for the cards that are Ryzeal or searching for the Nemesis Flag. Nemesis Flag, we just hard opened it up. We're going to grab the Doo-Doo Warrior with the send to Grave Goblin Bedurg, as we're going to send from the deck the Go-Go Glove. Let's Reborn back. Not only could this bridge into Ryzeal, but also any 2 level 4s bridge their way into Ryzeal through the Duo Drive because they forgot to make this only summonable with 2 Ryzeals, which the Detonator is. Now, the Nibiru, does it stop the search? Yes, that's why we wait for the activation, because by reading this, we could see that the detach is not before the colon, it's after. Identify the colon on the card, and just like that, since it has no cards to detach on resolution, thus Nibiru stops the hard once per turn effect. If you Nibiru too early, they could make another rank 4 Xyz and then search with their hard once per turn, so make sure they use it up first. He called fire. It's a hunch. Wow, I was right. No way. It was just so lucky. He actually is playing Tempai. I didn't even know. Well, fire could not be special summoned. We have Droplet to negate Protos after it already applied its lingering effect. That's not going to get rid of it. It's still going to stay there. Protos can leave the field, get negated. It does not matter. Summon Pydra. Pydra is going to not get negated, but we're now going to non-target take control of a monster on the field. Detach, take control of any monster, and then this would not be destroyable by battle or card effects, but that's going to be completely stopped as we also negate the Detonator. Now, the Cross will still be able to negate a monster effect. We didn't want to negate the Pydra. Pydra, take out the negated Zexal, and say goodbye to the Nibiru, cleaning up this field. So we will again continually call fire, but there's actually no fire to declare. What is going on here? Little Knight is going to banish away the Protos. No, you're not. Oh, no, we're going to banish the Cross instead. Somewhat of a gamble. Quite interesting. He does skip his draw phase. He drew because of the Dugaris. The Kage is going to be returning back up to 2 Xyz monsters in the graveyard to the extra deck. By activating that first, we now lose out on our Protos, but there was no fire to even declare. Wow. Declared fire with Protos, and Nicky Boy still won with his fire deck. Unbelievable. Kawaki rightfully forcing Nicky Boy to go first. And with going first, we have Lightning Storm. Pirelli is encouraging us to not make a single play, and Pirelli is great against Ryzeal. That is the main reason why you'd want to play this card. They summon from the hand like crazy, so I would strongly consider just passing. Nope, I ain't passing. Now, you could still make a Hermetic Seal and still Pirellia. So you would, in response to the Hermetic Seal tributing itself, chain Pirellia if we want to set that up. Well, Sangan Summoning is going to make that more difficult. Okay. I guess we can tribute, return back Sangan Summoning, and then when it activates summon for the deck, we chain Pirellia if we'd want to do that. That could be the play. And then, you know what? So what we're going to want to do here is we could also stop a finger, because this wants to get fingered. We're setting up a floodgate, if you don't know that. We are setting up the Drago. And how effective will the Drago be? The Drago is going to be, where the Dragon, Drago, Kokai Miru, oh my shoot, Koa, Kai, how do you spell Koa? There you go, Ko. Neither player can special summon light or dark monsters, and that will be what we summon from the deck. So we're going to have to Harak Seal, bounce back the Sangan Summoning, activate to summon a Drago, but then chain Pirelli, and if they try to finger, we'll Ghost Spell. That should be the idea here. We're going to do it right now. Yep. Tribute, return Sangan Summoning, and then when we activate, we chain Pirelli. Beautiful. Activate. Fua Lost Mate. And then Pirelli. This is true. Are you going to regret not ashing the Heavenly Sphere? I mean, we could ash the Pirelli instead. Now, the Drago can be destroyed by battle. Maybe that's why we're not ashing the Heavenly Sphere. Not sure if we're going to regret that here. Negate Pirelli. Drago just eats up the battle phase, so really maybe not that big of an issue. And this duel is Floodgate versus Floodgate. Not only do we have Protos, we also have Barrier Statue, which is searchable. We have the Harpy Feather Storm, which is searchable. Both of our searchable Floodgates already in our hand. We are only disallowed from special summoning light or dark. We're not restricted to light or dark. Light or dark is what we cannot summon. And Raziel's got some random fires. Coat is going to be reborning back the glove, turn these both into a fire duo drive. Not as disruptive as you'd think against Raziel. Yeah, I think Raziel's got this. Let's turn this into the Musketeer. Musketeer gets rid of Drago, also enables the Feather Storm. We could just lethal damage, in fact. Return 2 cards back, draw 1, X Raziel, search him for the sword, special summon. It was a good effort, but now Nicky Boy could force the Floodgater to go first. He could lock me out of fire. He could turn off all my monster effects with the Feather Storm. He could also lock me out of all non-Earth monsters through the Barrier Statue. What? Maybe he could set up multiple of those Floodgates, maybe even all 3. This is scary. Ice on for the deck. We're going to Fua Loss. Not going to Impulse Negate. Cross out Designate. Chain the Maxi Mate. Damn. If you're a Floodgate deck, you have to strongly consider brute forcing the Maxi to get to your Floodgates. Will Kawaki do that, or will we make a simplified play? We're playing against a one-turn kill deck. Flip up the cross. Let's Exceed Summon into the Duo Drive. Duo, oh my gosh, he's drawing so many cards. He's got Forbidden freaking Droplet. Droplet can stop the Barrier Statue, but Droplet cannot stop the Harpy Feather Storm. It cannot stop the Protos, but Impulse could stop not the summon of Protos, but the stop of Nemesis. We are going to Ghost Spell, negate the effect of Dugar's from reborning a monster in grave. We're going to cross negate the Bell. Not today. We must reborn back our Badurg as we turn both into the Gaga Girl. Bro, do we know what we're doing here? What are we doing? Gaga Girl is going to be detaching to add a Gaga from the deck. Badurg, I think when detached, can add a Doo-Doo from the deck. That's what it's doing. Come to us, Doo-Doo Warrior. As the Duo Drive is now going to attempt to search for 2 cards. Ash is going to negate. We already used the Cross Mate. Negate. Now, Impulse can negate the Doo-Doo Warrior. But then, we're not negating the Nemesis flag. But he probably can't even make a Banshee to search for the flag. You would think. Possibly. Now, we are under the restriction of Impulse. For the rest of this duel, we can't activate Light, Earth, or Wind. We gotta remember that. So Maxi on our own turn will not be good. Where did this come from? What? I turn away to talk about, because like he's done, right? He's done. Dude searched, did not search. He randomly drew a Protos and he had a fire on the field. Damn, Nicky Boy. What the heck? Now, just setting Droplet can maybe be good enough, right? You set Droplet, you negate Protos on the next turn. Oh boy, and it's going to be a struggle for them to get another fire onto the field. It's not where this is Protos being able to just call dark every turn. It's going to be some effort to continually get that fire monster out. And once the cross hits the grave, that's it. Our way to recursion and return our monsters back, recycle them, and drawing a return, it's gone for good. We don't have a way to gain it back. And that's what the Harpy Feather Storm or the Lightning Storm will be good for. So even though we could not special summon fire, I think Nicky Boy is in a good position because Maxie's pretty good. Typhid is going to be by battle taking out the Gaga Girl. We can return back the Protoss if we want to. That's exactly what we're going to do. Say goodbye. Protoss will be re-special summonable. We have fire, dark, earth, light, 4 different attributes very easily. But then the droplet. As I said, droplet's going to be the main way to stop the Protoss. And he wasn't even declaring fire because he didn't have a way to get fire out. So even resolving the Protoss declaring fire is obviously not good enough to stop Tenpai. Drago off the top of the deck. You can just normal summon Drago and you now inherently play around a Nibiru. Little Knight. We're giving up our ability to one-turn kill, whether we had it or not, just by banishing away the Protoss for good. Oh my Jesus. This is why you don't want to draw your bricks. That's why you don't play 3 Protoss, you don't play 3 Harpy Feather Storm, you don't play 3 Barrier the Statue. You want to search it with an already established field in protection for your Floodgate. Max C in response to the Chandra special summon, Ash negate. I think that's it. That's it. Tenpai, toxic deck versus toxic deck. And the crowd goes wild. Damn. Minstrel, take a gander at that hand. We're gonna Artifact Lancia, which does that even stop this? Let's see. Mermail at Lancia, not Mermail. And then the word banish. Well, this banishes during the opponent's turn, so that's not going to stop us. The Minstrel is not going to be banished that really gets stopped. Banishing in Mermail is not really going to happen. Impulse negate the squad from summoning from the deck. Damn. Abyss Shrine is probably a better negate here if they already have access to Prince, I'd say. As we now have the Molin Glacia. Randomly discard 2 cards on the hand. Goodbye to the Darkness and the White Rabbit. Now, Anemone it up. Let's reborn back the squad. Squad discard turn both monsters into level 7. With 2 level 7s, we have the Abyss Gaios. Now, Abyss Gaios is a form of disruption. Quick effect, detach material, non-target, negate the effects of all face-up monsters with less attack than this card. And we have Ash. Double disrupt. Magnum Hut, banish the White Rabbit. We can negate the White Rabbit on summon. We'll wait. Search for a dragon in the end phase. Come forth. Trigger. We're not negating, we're waiting. Ain't no way. I Meet You is going to reveal the Red Ransom searching for the wizard. We did not Ash. No Ash in sight. We have Link Decoder. Wizard is going to attempt to reborn the White Rabbit successfully. As we turn all 3 into the Red Ransom. The problem is, because we didn't negate the White Rabbit, any monster we want to negate is going to be dodged. They're going to jump off the field with the MTP in response to you trying to negate. Link Decoder is going to be further reborning. So now we're just in with this weird spot where, when can we even Abyss Gaios? And now, the Red Ransom's probably going to leave the field, but if she doesn't, she's reversing the attack and defense. This now can only negate 1,500 attack and smaller. What the? All right, it's gone, it's gone. Now, we can negate the access code talker on resolution. We didn't. We're going to lose the Gaios. Now, we can still banish by cost, still trigger the Red Ransom. All right, it's over. Gaios did nothing. It wouldn't have really done anything. We're going to draw a card into hopefully a Max C. Did not draw that. It does not matter. Lethal damage on the field already. Could he have still won if we Abyss Gaios early? Probably would have won anyway. All right, let's keep on going. Oh, this is perfect. Discard squad, rip troll. We activate squad, they chain Ash, we gamma the Ash. What? And clarification, we talked about this in between the duel, but the access code talker cannot be negated by the Abyss Gaios, even on resolution, because its attack would be higher than the Gaios and can only negate something smaller. And we're doing exactly that. Rip the Droll. Chain the Ash. Gamma, negate, and destroy. Mate. Impulse would stop the Gamma if we had a card on the field. We do not. Let's say we had a back row card. Nope. Not today. Summon the Prince, and this is the way. Dragite can negate the Impulse. I mean, we did look at his hand. Let's speed this up. Wow. Perfect turn 1. Justinian had Impulse, Ash, Droll. All 3 of those hand traps should stop Mermail. Oh yeah, I'm gonna negate, and then you're gonna negate my negate, mate. What the hell? Let's hop into game 3. Let's go. Unlimited follow-up and disruptions. Can we play through it? We have negate, non-target banish mate, negate a special summon, negate an interaction with the deck, no more searching from the deck for you. Minstrel. It's gonna look at the hand, banish away the Ash. That's fine. He's like, yeah, I'm screwed. Okay, no thank you. Branded versus Malice. We're going to be getting the Albion and Titan-Clad Engrave to search for a Cartesia. We can non-target banish, reborn from engrave, the Mirror Jade possibly if it's sent to the graveyard. We have Ash, maybe that return play. We're gonna have a monster negate through the effect of the little bird. We're gonna have the banishment, which could use their field and also go into a disruption. We could also reborn back the Albaz with the Rinbrum. We got about 7 potential disruptions here. Jesse, Ash, negates. What's good, mate? And then we're gonna follow up Link into the Link decoder. Do we wanna trigger the Quem? We're gonna Mirror Jade. Send Mirror Jade to non-target banish. Trigger the Quem to reborn the Cartesia, which could get the Mirror Jade engraved to then reborn it back with the banishment. March Hare is gonna be banishing the Chessie here. Chessie come back. And now we're gonna fuse with the Mirror Jade and the Quem to now banishment, reborn it back. Reborn back, then fuse with either side of the field. Are we fusing? Yeah, buddy. Triple into the Trifo Veritum. Now, if they were to perform a Link summon, we could negate the Link. Loss will be searching for the Mercurier monster negates. Damn. Super clapped up. I didn't even need the Super Poly to beat you. We still had non-target banish, negate a Link, negate a monster effect. We also had Rinbrum, reborn Albaz to fuse with their field. About 4 token in attack position for game. Thank you for that 8K token. Holy Chad deck. Ben Baller going first. Do we want to get D-shifting? We're going to be reborning back. And, you know, the White Rabbit being banished is now going to force us to have to GWC it back in the field, right? So, you know, I think that's a bit troublesome. Is that something you did not mean to do, but it allows us to Cryptor return something back? Ben Baller says, I was going for a Nightmare Griffin and I fell a monster short. He wanted to summon this. He wanted to floodgate his opponent. He wanted to ensure that special summon monsters on the field could not activate their effects unless a Link monster is pointing to them. We have Branded Lost and Super Poly. What's very important here, it looks like a Chainlink 2, but you want to Chainlink 1 so they can't respond to the summon. Into the Trifio Veritum. Branded Lost searching for the Albaz. We have the high spirit. I mean, damn. We got really messed up. No way. Ally Code Talker couldn't negate. We don't have a March Hare Mate. The White Binder cannot banish the White Rabbit since it's already banished. So we can't trigger the MTP, but we could still get the Heart Scripter. Let Albion send from the deck, return, draw a card. Mitsurugi is here. Fusion Deployment is going to... What happened here? Why did we not get to summon? So let me tell you this ruling. White Binder didn't miss the timing. White Binder just couldn't activate. So what's really funny about the Branded Lost is if I activate an effect on Chainlink 1 that's resulting in a fusion summon, then you Chainlink 2 or higher, any effect that will result in a trigger, say goodbye to your triggers. Nothing will trigger. White Binder could not activate on summon due to the Branded Lost. So how do we stop that? You can't, if they're Chainlink wanting a fusion, you can't chain something that would be the trigger. You can't do it. So that would be the same thing as I activate the Branded Fusion card and then I chain Magnum Hut to banish. Well, the banished card's now not going to trigger. You all understand that ruling? Impulse is going to negate. Got you, mate, because Fusion Duplication is not an effect to fuse. It's the effect to copy. Wipe them out, 3k to the face. Now it's confusing. Lost could miss the timing if your fusion card is on Chainlink 2 or higher. So you have to be on Chainlink 1. And then when a fusion monster is summoned, your opponent cannot respond to the fusion summon. So that has to be on Chainlink 1. And so if they can't respond to the summon and you activated cards that would trigger in response to the summon, you now can't trigger your effects. Did I make it more confusing? Are we good? Now White Binder could activate. Mirror Jade is going to non-target banish. We're going to Rinbrum it up. Club of the Grave, fingering the Rinbrum. No summon of Albaz for you. Very good. And we still have the ability to negate a Link summon. You Link summon, negate. Let's Cryptor come back. Now, these are effects of special summon. The Triff is not going to be negating these summons. They get to fully come out. Everything is fine. If they were to make an access code talker, we would negate the summon. Red Ransom, searching. White Rabbit, further reborning. Banishing the Albaz instead of the Rinbrum could possibly have been a better idea. I can agree with that. The Mirror Jade is now activating to wipe away the opposing field. Not enough for lethal damage. Really? Real? What the heck happened here? What? And we timed out. All right, Ben Baller, would you like to give any insight into what happened in this game? I could read it as we're setting up for the next duel. Ben Baller had some things to say. Ben Baller was saying about his match, he goes, oh, just wait, it gets worse. Yup, lol. Oh no, just wait, I had a chance, but I had no time, XD. At this point, I have like 5 seconds left on the clock, and then stop. I ran low on time and I panicked, and he's sorry. It's good. Ben Baller, I appreciate you, thank you. Begin. Gold Sark, banish the Dormouse. If you have an impulse, you can't stop this because there's nothing on the field. Imperm, negate the Dormouse as we're going to cross out designate, negate the Imperm. Konami, you gotta hit Malice again, harder. Put the Rabbit to 1, even maybe hit the Allure of Darkness in addition. Magnum Hut banishing. Oh my Jesus. In response to the normal summon Chessie, which is not a quick effect, it's going to be bounced right back to the hand. We had so much more disruptions on top of that. Let's hop into game 2. Mouse and Underground. Banish the door. We do have Nibiru. Can a well-timed Nibiru meaningfully affect Malice? Now, we have other hand traps here. We are going to draw Lockbird against the Foolos, the main card that's stopping Mitsurugi, which is why Malice is also doing very well in this format. It gives them further resilience against a Maxier Foolos being able to draw themselves, and then Droll also being able to stop all the other relevant decks like Mitsurugi. And the turn. What the heck was this? Druiswarm banishing the Red Ransom. Red Ransom is going to be coming back and then banishing from the deck the White Rabbit. White Rabbit's going to set up the MTP. MTP is going to be able to non-target banish. We have our Disruption through MTP and a Maxi. Not bad. Good luck playing through the Maxi and trying to brute force this field, that is. Allure, drawing our own White Rabbit. White Rabbit, come forth back, set from the deck. We now have Ash. We got double Disruption. Lingeribo to turn off the MTP. Banish from the deck. Dormouse. When can we Ash? We now have Droll. Chessie come back. We also have Impulse. All these freaking non-engine cards we're drawing. Ash negate the Chessie. When do we want to Impulse? We go into the Heart's Cryptor. If Heart's Cryptor gets banished and tries to come back, I think that'll be a good time to use our Impulse. Access the codes on the resolution. We're going to be forcing out the activation of the Lingeribo to negate the MTP from non-target banishing. Banish the Cryptor. This is where we Impulse. Straight up negate that. Ain't no way. Get out of here. Now, Impulse turns off our use of Droll and Lockbird. For the rest of this duel, we can't use it. No Droll. No Maxi either. And we already used up the Ash. We used everything. We don't have a Cryptor in graveyard. Go chain Maxi. And we can't Droll, which would have been quite beneficial here. We're just getting bodies on the field to protect us from lethal damage. That's it. Kraken has huge... We can't. Cannot. This is not TCG. Don't do it. It's not activatable. Not activatable. Now, in the TCG, it would be considered an illegal bluff to even show them Nibiru not being activatable, but you could sneeze and Nibiru could fall out of your hand, and then they're going to be like, oh crap, and maybe they'll surrender. Not knowing that Impulse is stopping it from being summoned. There's always a way. Let's banish, come back, Cryptor onto the field. Holy 11 cards. Take out the Dormouse. Cryptor, non-target banish card in the field. Take out the March Hare. Not enough. 500 life. The magic number's 300. You have to get Malice to 300 life because that's what it costs to activate the smaller Malice monsters. Now, the bigger Malice monsters are 900. If any of the links get banished, they're not coming back. And our core goal is going to be to gain life with the GWC. We have the GWC reborn back a link to then gain back enough life points to make plays with. Are we able to make plays without paying life? Let's see. Banish the Cryptor, which is already banished this turn. We're going to grab the Baldrake here. There is a Allied Code Talker Ignister with no body to tribute off to negate anything. Only 13 cards in hand. We're going to Baldrake, banish. We're going to Impulse, negate the Baldrake, our Red Ransom. We know that it cannot come back because we're at 500 life. We're going to link all three into the Cryptor here. Cryptor's going to return back our banished GWC. We need that GWC back in the deck. What the heck? And Cryptor now gets negated from returning it back. Uh-oh. 500 life, cross out, designate, negate the March Hare. March Hare can activate our one final time. We choose to not do it. We're going to back up Ignister, searching for the Chessie. We already committed to our normal summon. Triple Tactics Talent is going to take control of a Lingeribo, because Lingeribo is going to tribute off the Allied Code Talker Ignister. Give me the Ling. 7,200 damage. Now, is Kraken under the... No, Impulse is not turning off his own Nibiru. Nibiru up the field. Mugiwari at 500 life. Gold Sark, banish the White Rabbit, and that's it. We cannot activate any other Malice. Change in the battle position of the Nibiru to 600 defense. Wipe it out with the White Rabbit at 200 life. A banished GWC. How do we get it back into circulation? We have to deal 7,200 damage. Impulse off the top. To battle we go. Oh, man. We could have gambled with the White Rabbit, but if it was an Ash Blossom, we would have lost. White Rabbit would have self-inflicted lethal. We're going to Ash, attempt to negate the MTP as he activates to finger our Ash. Negate. Search our deck for a White Rabbit. This is a crazy duel. Mugiwara is winning in card advantage, but at 200 life, he can't activate any of his mouse cards. Puts the White Rabbit into defense to attack over it with our opposing White Rabbit, which on summon activated to set nothing. We have no more traps in the deck to set 5,500 damage over the White Rabbit. Another dead White Rabbit that can't even activate. Allure of Darkness, we're gonna have to YOLO. The Impulse can negate the White Rabbit from trying to come back onto the field. Activate, we're gonna call by the grave, finger the White Rabbit in grave instead, holding onto the Impulse. Negate. Also negating our own White Rabbit. Now we have a dead Mouse and Mirror with no mouse in hand here, but we do have the Imperm to negate the backup Ignister. No Search for You, cross out Designate to negate the Impermanence. What are we doing off of this? Whatever we search for has to get discarded. March Hare, goodbye. Discarded here, end our turn. We're both at 200 life. No way. Mugiwara persevering through having not enough life points back to back as Kraken had no viable play. Taking this into game 3. Banish the Dormouse, come back, activate to banish from the deck. We're going to MTP, dodge the Mirror, negating the Dormouse. We're going to Ash Blossom, negate the MTP, but we still banish from the deck. Let's freaking go. White Rabbit is going to be triggering as it comes back onto the field to then set a trap from the deck if we have one. Of course we do. We got the GWC. Normal the Lockbird to go into a Cyberse to make a Splash Mage. Splash Mage requires 2 Cyberse. That is why you Almirage. Why is this in people's decks? That's why. Reborn back the White Rabbit. Let's go into the Red Ransom. Red Ransom searching for the Mirror, GWC, banish the Red Ransom here, Reborn back Dormouse, Reborn onto the field, the Red Ransom, banish the Chessie, come back onto the field, banish the Mirror, draw 2, banish from engrave and from the deck, March Hare. Looks like we're winning. Cryptor is here. 3,100, banish for the March Hare. March Hare is going to be banishing at the end of the main phase to ensure that we possibly have enough monsters to thwart off lethal damage. Possibly not. Backup Ignister, special summon, because we have the Cryptor summon for the extra deck, searching for the Wizard. Wizard's going to be reborning a Dormouse from engrave. Link off into a Link Decoder, link off 3 into our White Binder. We're going to be triggering the Link Decoder, reborn back to now go into an Access Code Talker. Access the codes, non-target pop, 3 cards on the field. Almirage, Splash Mage, and then a Dark Monster. So we're at 2. The third one's going to be the White Binder. White Binder, trigger, come back, draw a card here, and then we got that 12,000 lethal damage. We also have an additional 5,600 damage by using the Cryptor to banish itself, then it comes back. 2-1 victory. Damn. Money. What's going to make the most money? The Canine's going to make the most money. That's got to be for the anniversary. Straight up, no other reason. No cope. Pirellia, draw per summon from the hand. Completely passing as I had no play anyway. I only have 9 1-card starters and maybe Allure of Darkness to hopefully draw into them. Vajra is not a play, but the Kaiman is. Impulse and Ash is what's needed for the Kaiman. Not only has this been limited to 1, but now people having access to Impulse, doubling up on the main way to stop its play, that further hampers the Tenpai way. Now, we are under Impulse, so we're not able to activate our Fool Losses, thus we're going to set Lancia, where it seemingly looks like the Fool Loss is being turned off, it just can't even be activated, as the Genroku summons Tundra, and he has nothing. See, let's further reduce the consistency of Malice, and then the deck becomes more fair. We force the turn 2 deck to go first. Okay, I'm gonna normal Drago, reveal the Jerusalem to keep it on the field, and neither player can special summon light or dark monsters. So how do we deal with Drago if I can't special summon light or dark? You end your turn. We can't out this. We can't battle it with a normal monster. It's gonna be floodgating every turn. We can't summon a Link monster to turn on the MTP. That's it. It's over. There's no out unless he draws into an imperm, or he's not going to play droplet. Chessie could maybe draw into an out. Draw an imperm, then kill your Chessie, then imperm it, then make plays in main phase 2, right? Cannot underground, cannot march hair. We cannot do anything here. Harpy, Feather Duster, wipe up the back row. The goal is draw imperm or mouse and mirror. Mouse and mirror, imperm, imperm, imperm. What am I missing? Help me out, chat. Is there more than 4 cards that we could draw into? Allure could help draw into one of those 4 cards. We did not draw into one of those 4 cards. We're gonna be triggering the March Hare. Add back to the hand here. Search for a wizard that can't summon. We can't do anything. There's only 4 cards that we could draw into. Sanguine Summoning and, okay, we're going to Ash negate that. Negate the Ash. Take out the backup. Again, 1 in 4 cards. 3 imperm, 1 mirror. Your impulse is not it. That ain't it, mate. Setting the March Hare. Oh my floodgate. This is normally a side deck card, but this is a no side deck event, showcasing that this card is good enough to main deck. Now, how do you gain access to this outside of hard drawing it? You're supposed to make a Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal Intributed, as it tributes itself, will then summon a Drago from the deck, giving this a turn 1 play. As we are now going to Chundra Synchro. Bidence is here. Lethal damage. Why didn't he impulse? He could chain the other one to then play around it. That's a 2-0. Let's go, Gia. We're in the final half of the top 4. We are going second, though. We do have Nibiru and Magnum Hunt. Let's see if this will be good enough. A Nibiru by itself is simply just not going to be good enough. So I would say if they're really holding on to that Nibiru, you're seeing their field light up on your 5th summon and more, you are then going to want to get to a point where you're going to force out Nibiru with the allied Code Talker, where you don't even activate its effect. You just summon it and make sure it's pointing to a Link monster, and then you can keep on making plays. But the Magnum Hunt was actually enough to mess him up. What the heck do we have here? We have Impulse, Ash. Impulse Ash, and what else? We're gonna chain GWC. We don't have a Mouse Link monster to turn on the MTP. This is no good, only double disruption. Now, Ash stopping Brain of Fusion is obviously amazing. Wicked to be searching for the backup Ignister. Let's opening into the Alubur. MTP attempt to search our deck here. We still have Impulse and Ash. All about stopping the Brain of Fusion. Ash negate the Saji mate, and this is why Abomod plays Mitsurugi. They Ash the Saji, then you get to perfectly play Brain of Fusion, as nothing could stop it besides an Impulse. Wow. That sucks. We got stopped. All right. Ether Ash, and they still Impulse you. Damn. The worst matchup for Abomod is any deck that could play Impulse with Ash, because he could easily eat your Ash, then whip out that Branded Fusion. Otherwise, the Impulse in addition, proving to be too much. As the Cyberse Wicked's gonna banish to search our deck, we have the backup for their searching for the March Hare. We got the backup Ignister here. Summon the White Rabbit. Brand opening, summon the Quem. Quem send the Albaz. Albaz can be reborn with the Quem to then fuse their field. Now it cannot because we took control of the Quem. We still have the Nibiru. We're not under the downside of Impulse or some nonsense. But when do we Nibiru? Access the codes. We could still wait until the end of main phase 1. Pop out Magnum Hut. White Binder reborn back. Cross out, negate Nibiru. Ain't no way. Everyone's on Nibiru. Clean up the field. Game number 2. We go. Damn. Impulse is another card that could stop Nibiru. Going first, we got the prayers on the draw phase for the Habakiri. We're gonna have to deal with the Fua Lost though. That's gonna be problematic. We can steal a monster out of their grave. We can Albaz, fuse their field. We could make them discard with the Murakumo. We could wipe away their field. We could negate anything with the Purification, mate. Let's do it. When do we activate everything? Lingeribo to pin down Purification. It's not a counter trap. We're going to banish from the deck with the Mouse and Underground. We're going to force them to discard a card for the effect as we easily discard the Droll and Lockbird. We don't care. Dormouse activates here. Now, what's a problem is the Purification would be a way to trigger the Murakumo, but instead we have the prayers if you were to negate the Purification. Maxi in response to the Cartesia summoning the Grand Granol. Grand Granol is here. Trigger the loss to search our deck for an Albion Shrouded, which can be discarded with the Super Poly. Super Poly, discard Albion to fuse up all three into the Triff, which will now give us another form of disruption, negating a Link summon. This is huge. They go into a Cryptor or a White Binder, you negate the summon, it goes to the grave, it gets banished, it does not come back. Massive counter to Malice. This tells me how prevalent Malice is to have him include this card. This alone just tanks Malice, almost an auto win. Negate the Link Decoder because we don't suspect that he'll even get to a Link 3. Nicely done. And we still had a negate. We could wipe up the entire field of monsters if he attempts a Link 3 afterward. Grass looking green. We have Maxi in the draw phase. Mugiwara with no way to stop the Maxi. No Droll, Ash. Called by Crossout, 7 cards. You what, mate? We have our own Maxi and he top decks an Ash to negate the Maxi. Ain't no way off the top of the deck. This is Abomod's Duel to win. He does have Impulse to stop a branded fusion though. But we got Grass. Let's go. Flame on. Habakiri, you know, we're maybe going to want to use Impulse onto the Mitsurugi Ritual. Even more so a reason why you want to play Mitsurugi with Branded. You're going to eat their Ash or eat their Impulse, and if they don't Impulse, then you're going to make great plays. This is what you'd want to Impulse if it weren't a Branded deck. We're really holding on to that Grass. We did the Ash check, he did Ash, so we're thinking that Grass is going to go through. Now he's going to Impulse the second effect of the Ritual. I think he changed his mind. We should have just activated on the first one. That was a mistake. We're going to mill multiple cards off the top of the deck. Then Saranir is going to be banishing the Habakiri here. Tribute off Saranir to Reborn the Lubellion as we now trigger the Saranir to send a Retribution. Retribution, add back Engrave the Branded Opening to summon an Alibur to search our deck for our Branded Fusion. Come forth and summon, but then he could use the Mirror to negate the Alibur. We could use the Branded Red to dodge the effect, or we could use the effect to Great Purification. This will reborn a monster and then tribute one other monster. It doesn't have to tribute a reptile. We're gonna dodge the targeting negate. Ain't no way. Very well done. Thus, we grab that Branded Fusion from our deck. Did we even have an activatable Branded Red? We did. We did have Albaz if we want to do that. We had 2 different ways to dodge the negate. Thus, if he had an Impermanence in addition, he would try to Imperm, then we would chain the Branded Red. We got the perfect plays. Albion's going to banish from Engrave to come forth and summon into the Boardlord Fierce, which could pop a card on the field. Let's get swinging with 11,000 damage on the field. We waited for this attack of this monster. We know that we're going to pop it. It was already banished, so it's not going to come back if we MTP banish it. March here cannot summon during the battle phase, and just like that, lethal damage. How the heck did Branded clap its way into the grand freaking finale? Oh my Jesus. Pre-prep. This is going to get negated by the Ghost Spell. Ain't no way. We still have Ash Blossom ready for the Branded Fusion. Send the Retribution. We're going to be drawing a card as we now summon for the deck Alibur. Alibur is going to activate searching for our Branded Fusion play. We have Impulse and Ash for that Branded Fusion. Both cards counter the Branded Fusion. The Branded Loss does not protect you from either. The Impulse negates the effect. The Ash negates the effect. The Loss protects you from an activation negate mate. Negate. Now, by not using Ash, we now could use Branded in white, which the Impulse could have been used on the white instead. Well, we didn't even have an activatable white, so this is not looking good for either player, as Nicky Boy has no play. We're going to wipe away the Branded Lost. No one-card combo play for Tenpai. What the heck is going on? Off the top of the deck, we got the Habakiri summon from the deck here, as we now Ash negate the Saji. Now, if Nicky Boy won, Abomod would have forced Nicky Boy to go first, so he does not have a win. It's 0-0. there was an actual true connection loss or something happened in game 1. No play from either player. If he top decks into a Genroku, it will be negated by the Ash. Is this it? Activate into the one-turn kill. Negate. No one-turn kill for you. We needed a called by. We needed a cross out. We had neither. And off the top of the deck of Branded Fusion, what the heck is going on? We do have Imperm and we have Forbidden Droplet. We are going to Imperm, negate the Albion. Droplet is now dead. We're going to follow up with the Branded and White Fuse to the graveyard. And just like that, lethal damage. Taking this into game number 2. First, going to take out the Forbidden Droplet. Finish him. Well done. We have Maxi, Druid Swarm. Druid Swarm is going to be our only form of disruption. Maybe Maxi will draw into more in response to summon Asaji from the deck through the Habakiri. We draw into an Impulse. Ain't no way. That's exactly what we needed. We did not Impulse the Ritual, so we're saving the Impulse for the Branded Fusion. Impulse is a big one. We now have the Purification and pass. Just like that, we can negate, force them to discard. We're going to negate the Heavy Storm, tributing off the Murakumo, which will then be reborning back. We're going to not lose out on the Super Poly. We're going to be able to force them to discard, use up their field, and Nibiru. We have triple disruption. We're now under max freaking C. Ain't no way. Come back, Murakumo. Pydra on summon is going to be setting up the Sangan Summoning. Sangan Summoning is going to be searching the deck. I think this is it for Abomod. If we can make it to the battle phase, it's over. We're going to force him to discard. He's going to discard the Forbidden Droplet. He's going to be banishing away the Habakiri to then further go into a Baron freaking DeFleur. You up, mate. Druid Swarm's going to send the Murakumo. We have Super Poly, now it's gone. We just have Nibiru. No Nibiru. That is it. Wait, where's our other plays? What? Wait. Huh? What? Tempai, battle phase, wins, no, what? I don't understand. Did Genroku not summon anything from the deck? Genroku made a Baron DeFleur, giving up lethal damage? We summoned Genroku? What, Spoli? He's playing around Spoli? Oh, okay, so they're in voice chat and he said I had Super Poly? Okay. Let's go. Wipe away the field with the Murakumo. Saji is going to be chain link blocking the Murakumo, further chain link blocked by the Mirror. Search our deck, reborn here, back onto the field. Do you play around Super Poly when it's a 60 card deck? I mean, it is Abomod. He always has it. When does he find one duel today where he does not have Super Poly? Mitsurugi Ritual, Impulse Negate, force him to discard, and there's nothing to discard. We're going to Imperm negate the negate. Negate the Murakumo. And negate the Ritual. I mean, this duel is decided as soon as he couldn't even get lethal damage in the battle phase. Anaconda, send the Branded Fusion. And we're going to chain the Purification to, otherwise we would not be able to special summon. So we're going to reborn the Kusanagi, tribute off the Anaconda, summon into a Mirror, no, we can't go to Mirror Jade. Titanclad, how big is the Titanclad? 44,000 attack, 8,800 damage, 2-0 victory. Holy moly. Nicky Boy felt the toggle. He felt the Super Poly. He felt it. And who felt it has dealt it. He knew it. The Super Poly was in the back row. There we go. It's a nuanced feeling. It's like feeling the Force in Star Wars. You just know they have the back row card, and it's true. It's how it works. I told you, he activated Dora the Explorer when there was nothing else on the field, and he's able to feel out the hand traps. That is the number one thing that I think a lot of TCG players don't learn with Master Duel. You have to legally cheat. You have to see their field light up on everything. All right, Meta Weekly on a Saturday. What do we got here? Top 16. Oh my Jesus. Sky Striker, Hipster, he did it. Pot of D, Metal Foe Fusion, don't mind if I do. There can be only one fool. Good job with that. And then we have Dark Magician Primite. Dragoon. Yes, Primite, Dragoon. Just make 2 bodies. See, TCG players don't know that this deck's good only because Anaconda. Just Anaconda it up and you win. Good job, King Mod, or King Madi. And then Dragoonity Dragon Maid. Holy shite, Honda powered. I gotta just click on your name to get a better view of your deck. Looking good. All right. And then Mermaid Lancian. Lancia main deck still. Well, why play Lancia? Orcus and Malice were the most prevalent decks. Is Mitsurugi hiding? What's going on with Mitsurugi players? We have Abo Mod on Mitsurugi. Mitsurugi branded. The pure Mitsurugi players are also hiding. The Automat, I think that they don't want to get Protossed. This is messing things up. In fact, the fact that this is making less people want to play Mitsurugi further solidifies on why this will be on the ban list. Straight up. The newest pack, Mitsurugi, people don't want to play it because you get Protossed. Well, ban this in the next ban list update. Kawaki continually topping like a mad lad. And we got the other one. Kest. Good job to you, Kest. Also on the Hoppy Feather Storm time. Tenpai. Yuma. Tenpai Fiendsmith. Well, this is a good deck to dodge Protoss. Even if they call fire, you could play around it easier. And then Nicky Boy. The Kokamir Drago put in work. Definitely won a lot of duels. And then Orcust. Boy. We can't afford to play Mitsurugi Orcust because of Protoss. It's not worth it. You get hit by Droll, you get hit by Protoss. Toka. Very nice. Got Santa Claus. And then Abdallah. Good job. And then Malice. Ban Banshee. Release the Kraken. Anything out of the ordinary? I don't see it. Ben Baller. I don't see anything crazy. I'm only looking at the main deck. Justinian. Are they all on 3 allure? 2. Justinian, 3. Mugiwara. All right. That's the tournament.